Hi and welcome back. I'm Chris Dudley with Dudley's Auctions, and we're here to talk about real estate auctions on Auction Adventures this week. So with me today, I have Bob Britton. Bob Britton's one of our real estate brokers. He's been with us for quite some time and in the business for a really long time. And
yeah, 32 years.
32 years. Now, where did you start? And 32 years, you must have been like really young.
I was real young. Yeah, my father was an auctioneer, and I kind of grew up in the auction business, and back up in Western New York in a little town called Lockport. And I was with an auction firm up there right before I came down to Florida, and we were licensed in 11 states, and a fairly good sized auction firm. And so then I came down here in 2006 to the great state of Florida to sell real estate at auction.
Yeah, and it's a good thing too, because we talk about real estate auctions not being the answer for everybody, but a perfect answer for certain situations. And I know estates is one of them, but downsizing.
We've worked for, sure, and guardians.
Guardians,
estate representatives, private sellers.
Private sellers, people who, you know, their families down here, one of the members passes away, dad passes away, mom's coming back up north with them, they have this real estate, they don't want to maintain it, they don't want to hold it for a long period of time, and we'll come in there and we'll show them how to work a piece of real estate at an auction has its definite benefits.
I think the main advantage that people appreciate with a real estate auction is time.
Yeah.
They can control the time. There is a time value for money, and if you can sell something in the next 30, 60 days, as opposed to having it on the market for 6, 9, 12 months, who knows, then it's an advantage.
Right, because you don't have to worry about what if something happens for the roof and you're being gone. I know when you say time, it's because when you sell a piece of real estate at auction, we have a way to determine the exact date it's going to be sold.
You pick the day and time it sells.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's some other advantages too, because what we're doing is we pick the day it's going to sell, so we know the day it's going to sell, and we gear the terms of sale around the seller, as opposed to a traditional sale agreement for real estate, where the terms of sale are geared pretty much around the buyer. They give buyer.
They have a lot of options. They have a lot of protections.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
But if the seller is going to say, okay, we want this sold Friday at 11 o'clock, then the advantage to doing that are several. First, we're going to have the buyer paid a commission. Okay.
Yeah, there's a 10% buyer's premium.
All right, so we have the buyer paid a commission. There's some other fees that we'll flip over and have the buyer pay, the doc stamps on the deed, which typically is $7 per thousand. We're going to sell the house as is.
Right.
Which it doesn't mean that the roof's falling in. It just means the way you see it is the way you're going to get it.
Right.
And so we're not going to change the carpet. We're not going to paint the walls, okay? We'll keep the grass mowed maybe, okay?
Yeah.
But the way you see it is the way you're going to get it. We also sell for cash.
Right. Cash closings on or before 30 days. I know I've worked with some people in the past, you know, if they want to be pre-approved and they have the house pre-approved and they know they're going to get their financing, or sometimes they'll take the money, maybe equity in another house that they already have, and they'll use that towards purchasing. But primarily when you buy an auction house, you know that you're going to close it on or before 30 days.
Right.
And I know that in the past, our closings have pretty much 2 weeks to 3 weeks, they're closing right away. Once they know they're going to pay cash, they want to get in there, they want to start working on it.
The cash deal is so much simpler.
Yeah.
Our sale contract is it's only one page.
Right.
Okay, so it's as opposed to a fire bar, which can be 7 or 8 pages.
Right.
So,
but it's a good advantage for some people. Like I said, the real estate market is, because we work with a lot of realtors too. There's a lot of times where realtors will be working on things and they want to go ahead and help motivate a sale and try to get things. And we work with realtors in a lot of different ways, as far as on a sales side, we'll co-broke with them on a selling side, as well as co-broking with them on a listing side. So I know that we have some pictures that we can show you of a couple of houses that we've sold. This one was in Seven Rivers Golf Course.
Seven Rivers, over by the golf course, and it's actually across from the clubhouse. We sold this last year in the fall, I believe in October. And this was a situation, we did an on-site, which means we sold the personal property and the real estate all at the property on one day.
Right.
So in one day we start at 9 in the morning. We sell small stuff and kitchen stuff, whatever, and then at 10 o'clock we auction off the real estate, and then after we finished, we keep going with the rest of the furniture and yard items and whatever.
And everything was in the house. When we went in there, everything was still in the house. They pack up what they want, and then this situation being, what they did is they were ready to pack up and go.
Right. They have a fifth wheel trailer, you know, an RV, and their mission was to liquidate everything they own and travel the country.
And with the buyer's premium, this house sold for $111,100.
That's correct.
That was a great buy, and the buyers were happy. The sellers were.
Seller was happy.
As a matter of fact, the buyer, he had seen it on our website up north, and then flew down.
He's from Parma, Ohio.
Right, and he was working with a realtor that he'd been working with for a while, and she brought him along. So she sold him. He was happy. She was happy. We were happy. Everybody was happy. What a great deal.
Yeah, the sellers were very happy. Everything went the way it did, and I think that's important because we're drawing people from up north down here.
Well, we're drawing them from all over.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's one of the best things is because we have the built-in buyer list. We have customers that are coming to Dudley's auctions. They may be coming to buy pots and pans. They may be coming to buy us other things. But they'll be there for all sorts of things. And we've, for lack of a better word, converted buyers of personal property into real estate investors because they've seen it and they're used to working with us. They have a high level of trust and understanding, and we share with them a lot of information and help them through the process too, because it is scary coming to an auction to buy an auction or to sell at an auction. There are some things that people have concerns over.
We do sell homes to first-time auction attenders, you know, and yeah, I can. I've seen an awful lot of people attend their first auction, and it can be scary.
Yeah.
Okay, and whether it's buying a vehicle at auction or a home at auction, you know, if you're going to spend $50, $60, $100,000 on a home, that's and you have to make that decision
that quick.
Okay. So
well, and then we've got some things that we'll talk about that kind of help people along the way.
Absolutely.
When you come to a real estate auction, one of the things that you'll do is we have a whole terms and conditions. It's a list of all the things that you have to read and understand and sign prior to getting a number to bid on it. And then the other thing is that when Robert starts the auctions, he always goes over the terms and conditions of you're here to bid. There's a buyer's premium.
That's correct.
You're going to remove the items. So we'll go through all of those things and talk about the different kinds. And I know that we have several other houses we're going to talk about.
Sure.
And we'll talk about the contract a little bit and different ways to do it. And then be sure every week we talk about something different. Sometimes we'll have experts that come into Auction Adventures that want to teach you about maybe dolls. Maybe it's going to be coins or firearms or something that somebody has a target for. Or we'll talk about the general estate auctions and why people might want to use an auction service, or some helpful hints so that you can learn what to look for when you're going through your treasures and what might be special and might have some special things. So hang in there, come back, and we'll be back in just a minute, and we'll talk about some more auction adventures, okay? We'll see you in a few minutes.
Sure look forward.
Hi, Chris Dudley here from Dudley's Adventures. Dudley's Auction. I call it Auction Adventures because that's what life is with us over at Dudley's. It's always an adventure. You just never know from one day to the next what's going to happen when the phone rings and who has what to sell. So we're going to share a lot of those here at Auction Adventures, and we're back here with Bob Britton. We're talking about real estate auctions and some of the things that we see when we go to auctions and some of the reasons people might want to use auctions and some of the different types of auctions, because sometimes we'll go and all we have to sell is the real estate, and sometimes we'll go and it'll be the real estate and the contents. And I know we've got one coming up here on Golden Cup. There'll be some pictures coming up. This house on Golden Cup.
This is over in Beverly Hills, and we marketed this property to be sold regardless of price. At auction, it did $61,000. Just we get questions all the time, Chris. What's the difference? I want to sell this. I've heard the term absolute, or to be sold regardless of price, or selling with reserve.
Now this one shows that the contents are still in the house when we took the photos, but we actually picked the property up out of this, put the personal property and sold it at.
No, we did it. We did it on site here too.
Sorry,
yes, we sold the personal property on site here too. Yes.
Okay.
The main difference between a property sold regardless of price, it just means that we're going to do the sale, okay, and the high bidder is going to own the house. With the reserve auction, the owner, we're leaving the owner with the right to say yes or no at the end.
Kind of give you that's subject to seller's confirmation.
That's exactly right. And there's some protection there, but the main advantage to selling a property regardless of price is we're telling the world, okay, that we've got a serious seller.
Yeah.
The property will be sold Friday morning at 10 o'clock.
Right.
Take the day off, do what you have to do, be there, have a deposit in hand, and it works. Okay, and it really works, Chris. So,
well, you know, it works because it generates all kinds of excitement and enthusiasm. I'm telling you, people just come from all over. They want to they want to see if they can be the ones that want to steal it. They want to be the ones, but what happens is that nobody will let anybody steal it.
That's correct.
That's
correct.
It makes everybody excited, and they get in there and they really want to be involved in the process.
The spirit of competition. Anyways, this one, getting back to Golden Cup, the one on Golden Cup, this one was fun because it was a mother and father that purchased the house for their daughter.
Oh, yeah, the buyers, yes, they were excited. They were going to move their daughter in there. That's right.
So that was we have a happy seller in a estate situation. The man was out of town, didn't want to mess with it. We took care of everything, and just sent him a check.
Right, and everything. When they say everything, I know I talk to people all the time. They come down, they don't know anybody around. They don't know how to get rid of the stuff. They don't want to do all the work. We come in and we'll take it from the pots and pans to donating the things that are not sellable to cleaning it all out, getting it all ready.
Right. We can arrange to have the yards taken care of and mowed and kept up if needed. Until the time the pools have the pools clean. Right. Because that stuff has to be kept up for the few weeks until we're waiting to auction the property.
Right. Okay. And we have another house coming up, and the next one that we've got coming up was on Keller Street. I'm pretty sure. Yep, this one right here.
This again was an estate situation where we worked with the attorney on this one. The personal representative, though, was lives in New Jersey. And so again, a little tough to commute back and forth to make everything happen.
And it had a pool.
And it had some maintenance issues. This was a beautiful home, and it did have some maintenance issues. It needed a roof and some other things.
Right.
But it was on 1 acre over there in Citrus Hills area, and it just really was a nice home. Now this one. Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying we did move the items out of this one.
We moved the item out of this one only because of the time. It took a little time. We had to get court approval to go ahead and sell this. So in the meantime, we took the personal property out, with the exception of the appliances, and took it over to our auction facility and sold the property over there. What was cool about this one too is the young man that purchased it.
Right.
The young man who purchased it was worked for a local builder, and he just saw the value in the home, and he bought it for himself to go ahead and fix up and live in, and
then turn around and sell.
Right, and but enjoy it for a while, I think, and then flip the house up. But I have a feeling that he might have stayed there. It's a pretty nice place.
It's a nice place, and it worked out really well. I know that we've had other customers that have been Dudley's auction customers come in and purchase a piece of property, took the time, effort, and energy necessary to go ahead and get it clean and set up, put some extra landscaping, and then put it out for sale, and have sold it, and have come back and bought a couple other ones since then. So that's one of the great things. Yeah.
This property, when we auctioned it off, and again, that was also last year, I forget when, I can tell you August, that was in August of last year, and sold for $121,000.
Yeah, that was a great buy on
that was a beautiful home.
It was a good buy. It made that, took care of the estate situation, it made everybody happy. Terms and conditions. Why don't you tell them a little bit about the terms and conditions? When they come in, the client has to, the buyer has to sign the terms and conditions, and that's again what we were just talking about.
All we'll need is, and again, we're open typically an hour and a half prior to the auction for people to come and take a look around, ask any questions that they might want to ask. But if you show up to auction and you want to participate in the bidding, then we'll need just some kind of proof. We need to know who you are. Okay. We want to know that you have a check with you. Typically, a cashier's check or a personal check is fine as a pre-approved. Right. Just give us a call. Just let us know what you want to do. But it's fairly simple to do. We don't have we try to stay a little informal when it comes to that kind of stuff. And we're going to require 10% down that day. So if you're the high bidder at the auction, high bidder on a home, we're just sign the contract, and we need a 10% deposit.
Right. Now, the 10% of the total contract price is just if it sells for 100, there's 110. There's 10,000 that's added to it as the buyer's premium. So at 110,000,
that's correct.
They would write us a check for $11,000. We send it right over to Fidelity Title, who is our title company. Yep. Great company. We use them all the time. They're used to us, and our doing an auction title works a little bit different.
Yes,
but
it is.
She's quick. She's fast. She does a really wonderful job. We love Cora over there.
Right. So proof of who you are. We need to make sure you have a check with you. The few things to remember with a real estate auction is there's typically a buyer's premium added to the high bid. So again, like Chris just said, $100,000 high bid at the auction, 10,000 or 10% gets added to that, and the median total contract price of $111,000.
Right.
We'll need 10% that day. We like to close in 30 days, and being that we're just a cash sale, whether you have the cash ahead of time or you just have the money in the bank, or you pre-approve and go ahead, we'll help you. We'll work with you with that. But 30 days, and a lot of them are closing sooner.
And then what's happening is Cora is the one that's going to be, Fidelity Title, the title company will take care of handling the closing. They'll do all the research. They'll make sure that you have clean and clear warranty deed, clean, clear title, all the taxes and homeowners fees or anything that is out there outstanding will either be prorated or sold, closed and paid off, so that when they get done and you go to the closing, you get a clean, clear warranty deed. There's no quick claim deeds, there's no clouds on the title, so that's one of the best parts about being able to sell compared to buying a short sale or something like that. It's a lot easier. You don't have multi-levels of management.
Lot less red tape. It's just a real simple transaction because we know we already have a good title, and so. But as with any real estate transaction, do your homework.
Yep, and that's one of the things we'll probably talk about when we come back, because we're running out a little bit of time. We'll be back in the next segment. We'll show you one more house, talk about a couple of other ideas and the marketing plans. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Auction Adventures. Chris Dudley, we'll see you in just a bit. Hi, Chris Dudley here, Dudley's Auctions, back at Auction Adventures with Bob Britton. We're talking about real estate, auctions, and some of the other things that we've got going on. Great show today. We're having a lot of fun. Oh. And we just got over showing three houses. We've got one more house to show. We're going to talk about marketing plans right now, though. Marketing plans.
The auction is not really an avenue to sell. Okay, it's an avenue to market. We're a marketing firm. We're not a sales firm.
Right.
Okay, so that's important. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a gold watch or a commercial strip mall.
Right, and we've done commercial properties as well.
Absolutely, we have done, yes.
So it opens it up to a lot of different things. And every marketing plan has to be a little bit different based on what we're trying to sell.
Absolutely.
So if we have buyers that we need to reach out up north, or like if we have a commercial piece and we have to target our buyers, if it's within the downtown area.
Who can use the property?
We look at the zoning, who can use the property, we target it, we send it off. So talk about a little bit of what we do and how we market the properties.
Okay, well, today, internet.
Right. I mean, it's everywhere.
DudleysAuction.com is a great site to find out what's going on. Typically, when we post stuff on DudleysAuction.com, it also gets posted on a couple of other sites.
Like Auction Zip, we use the Florida Auctioneers Association, we use the National Auctioneers Association. I know that there are so many different avenues to get it out there. Right. I know we do the Facebook thing. I haven't learned how to tweet yet.
No, I'm not a tweeter either. The other thing electronically is email blast. Mm-hmm. It's an awful lot cheaper, not free, but it's an awful lot cheaper to send out thousands of emails, as opposed to snail mail today, and that's by request.
Right, and that's easy to be on the email list.
Yes.
You just go right to Dudley's Auctions, go to the bottom of the front page, and add your name to the email list, and then we'll pop you in there. And every week we send out emails, and it may be talking about the doll auction, it may be talking about the Thursday estate auctions or the antique and collectible auctions. But there's so many things going on. I know that we did 126 auctions last year. That was just kind of crazy.
Pretty busy.
Yeah, 50 of them were real estate, so we did a lot of them. Right. Now, the other thing we do are
okay. So yeah, the flyer. It's very important to still do a printed flyer, and especially for the area that we're marketing in. So if we have a home, say in a development, Black Diamond, let's use that for an example.
Right, because we've got several lots.
We do have some lots coming up in Black Diamond. So we want to market to everybody in Black Diamond. Somebody might know somebody that wants to move in there.
My brother wants to come, my neighbor from up north.
Absolutely. Or an area like Beverly Hills. We have a home in Beverly Hills, and somebody, they live 2 blocks away, and they might want their son and daughter, so they move in there, a young family, whatever. So the families keep close together. So that tends to work real well, letting the neighborhood know what's going on.
It also gives them an opportunity to know when we're going to be there and we're doing it on site with all the contents, so they want to, maybe come and join us, or put the tape across the front so no one parks on their lawn. That sort of thing.
They do all that fun stuff too.
Gives them the warning and lets them know.
Yeah. No,
but it works out really well.
All good.
I know we've got another house coming up.
Yeah.
And on this piece of property on Rovin Point, that was on acreage. Again, something
almost 5 acres.
Yeah.
And this was pretty neat because again, another estate situation where the mom lived here. Mom passed away, and the son and daughter, the daughter and son-in-law lived in Port Port Orange, the other side of the state.
Right.
So they were coming every weekend and mowing the grass and doing this and taking care of it, and they just didn't know what to do, you know, but so we worked with them, and okay, here, explained the whole situation and how we do things, and they felt very comfortable with us. And
it was packed. I mean, looking at these pictures, it was packed. They had, not only did they have the house that was full,
right,
they had the barn, they had the golf cart, they had the storage units.
There was a car.
Yeah, we took care of all of it, all at one time. And in this one, I think we actually split up in 2 rings because we had so much in the barn.
I think we did.
Below.
We had stuff up in the barn.
Because there was restaurant equipment there, and
that we had one auctioneer
in the camper.
Oh, yeah, in the camp. And we had one auctioneer doing that while we had another auctioneer up by the house selling stuff up there. We do that quite often. But the other thing that was cool about this one is a regular auction attender actually ended up purchasing this property, and because he buys a lot of stuff at auction, and his current home was only on a 1/4 acre, and he just was running out of space to put all his stuff, all his treasures. Yes, all his treasures. So he said, well, on 5 acres with a barn, I'm going to have plenty of room to store my treasures, if you will. And
I know it varies so much from one day to the next. What's going to come across the door? The phone rings, and we're off again. You know, trying to figure out the next way to let people know. I know one of the other avenues that we end up assisting are trustees. Guardianships. We work with a lot
and
of
the guardianships are there's an awful lot of them here in the state of Florida, and basically, just in case you're not familiar, the older person, maybe their family is out of state, nobody's able to take care of them down here, or they might not have anybody. We've run across that too. They just have nobody. So the state will appoint a guardian and somebody to take care of their needs.
Yeah, that helps a lot too.
And sometimes if the people get where they just can't stay at home anymore and need to go to an assisted living facility or otherwise, then they'll need money to do that in a fast way. Okay, a quick way to raise money, additional monies to do that is to auction off their property and their real estate, and so they have money for their care.
Right. And I know a lot of times people are a little nervous about selling at auction because of the fact that they may not think they'll get the most for it. But a lot of times the energy and the excitement will generate more revenue than you expect. And you have to take into consideration the long-term holding cost.
Right.
You know, if you have your money now, what can you do with your money now compared to if I have to pay all those fees, if I have to pay someone to take care of the lawn, if I have to pay someone, and then what happens if the water, you know, the well goes out, or and something. So you take all that into consideration, and then you're more likely to go with the let's auction the money, get the money now, take care of it, and then get on with our lives. Let's take what we have and move on and move forward.
The other thing that we hear is the simplification of the process, and that especially from a seller standpoint, what's one of the worst things that everybody hates doing is negotiating. Okay, it can be really frustrating.
Right. And we take care of all the paperwork.
But what's fun with an auction is the buyers are actually negotiating with themselves.
Right.
So you'll have one buyer over here, one potential buyer over here, and the competition between the two.
Right.
So it keeps the seller off to the side, and there is no really negotiation process involved.
And that's one of the big parts of what we call the adventures. I know, it's just another adventure. So what you need to look at when you come back, we'll have another show next week. We'll be talking, we'll bring another specialist, another expert. He can tell us all about their particular treasures. And if anybody has a treasure they want to share with us, give us a call. We'll be happy to share you on there. And in the words of Helen Keller, life is nothing but an adventure. Life is a daring adventure, if nothing else. So that's what we're going to do. This is Chris Dudley saying goodbye. We'll see you next time at Auction Adventures, and we'll have a blast again. Thanks. We'll see you there.
Dudley'sAuction.com.